Vardaan 1. The Ultimate Boon. Written by Mr. Deepak Sadia. Chapter 1. The Miracle of the Extraordinary Privilege. In the year 1352. Aryavarta, Northern Indian Subcontinent. This story is of Aryavarta, whom some people started calling Bharat, India as well. The hidden Aryavarta was located by many courageous sailors as well as explorers. After that, the citizens of many countries started coming to Aryavarta for various purposes. Changtai Turkic and speaking and Persian-speaking people had also come to Aryavarta and started living in Aryavarta as Aryans. It is easy to blame one's faults on others. That's why in those days people believed that because of foreigners, a strong wave of change was blowing in Aryavarta. The ethics, way of living, and moral values of Aryans were changing rapidly. The tiny villages were becoming cities. Small shops were taking the shape of bazaars, supermarket. The dominance of wealth was increasing rapidly, and the value of humanity was decreasing steadily. The vacuousness of all relationships was also slowly beginning to be exposed. Everyone started to understand that money is the only special friend. So everyone was busy collecting money. Each person who was unable to do so, as per the strength of his ability, every moment looked for opportunities to befriend those who had abundant wealth. The kucha houses of the ordinary people were now turning into puka houses with the help of limestone, as the masons were no longer mere lieges of the kings. Yes, money had come to the zamindars, seigneur, and the sahukaras, indigenous bankers, so they started making their puka houses by paying the same fee to the masons as the kings. Festivals too could not remain untouched by the blind winds of change. Intimacy and love were replaced by sweets and gifts. Now it was very easy to find out who loves you, and how much does he love you. The person who gave you the most expensive gift is the person who loves you the most. The one who gave you sweets in maximum quantity, that person has a maximum affinity towards you. The rest of the ordinary people had no real attachments for you. There was no true place for you in their minds. In other words, they were the general public in a true sense, those were just performing the formalities. A strong wave of blind change was blowing everywhere, but the Uttarasadhaka Gurukul College, built by Acharya teacher Krishna Chandra Shastri, was still progressing at the same speed, embracing its principles. It was more than 50 years had passed since Acharya Krishna Chandra Shastri died, yet his thinking was the foundation of the Gurukul. Acharya Krishna Chandra Shastri was born Krishna Chandra in the year 1160 in the Kumari kingdom. Like every child, he was accidentally born into a Brahmin, upper caste Indian family. Like most Aryan as well as Brahmin ladies, Mother Shakuntala Devi was a housewife. Unlike most Brahmins, Father Beli Rama was a pundit, a Hindu ritual expert and officiant, so punditai was his profession. Beli Rama's knowledge and good manners earned him a lot of positive fame and true respect in society. He was not greedy, so in religious rituals he used to spend according to the financial condition of the yajmans, amphitryon. Just because of this special quality, he was loved by every class. People of all castes were his yajmans. Everyone used to donate more than his capacity. Apart from money, he also got crops, food, clothes, etc. in charity from the yajmans. Just as Beli Rama was firm in his good nature, in the same way, his all yajmans were also firm with his services. That was the main reason why Beli Rama and Shakuntala Devi built a puka house for them at a very young age. In the colony where they lived, everyone was poor, so Beli Rama and Shakuntala Devi had the only puka house in the colony of kucha houses. Whereas Beli Rama's peers could not do this, even after the age of youth had passed. Krishna Chandra was the only son of Mother Shakuntala Devi and Father Beli Rama, so the parents did not leave any stone unturned in his upbringing. All his needs were taken care of. Some special privileges were also given to him. The most special of all the privileges was education. Yes, in those days education was only a privilege. The privilege that not everyone had the right to get. The one who did not have the right did not get this privilege even by paying a price. At that time it was believed that from ancient times, only two sections of the social system had the right to education. The first were Kshatriyas, the kings, and the second was the Brahmins. Historically, only the Kshatriyas got the right to rule as well as the right to education. Later, two problems appeared. The first problem was who would teach the Kshatriyas. If a Kshatriya starts teaching other Kshatriyas, who will rule then? The second problem was if a Kshatriya taught other Kshatriyas, then in front of other Kshatriyas, his reputation would be compromised because the title of the ruler is much bigger than the teacher. To solve those problems, the responsibility of teaching had been given to a few men of the top second caste. The few Brahmins got jobs as teachers. Within a few days, a new problem was born. Those who wanted to teach would have to study themselves. After an intense discussion, Kshatriyas found a permanent solution to this permanent problem. The Kshatriyas unwillingly had to allow the whole Brahmin caste to study, and thus the Brahmin caste got the right to education. As per the new system, at first Brahmins would study, and then they would teach the Kshatriyas. Over time, Brahmins also started conducting religious rituals as pundits. Education was the best privilege, as Krishna Chandra was accidentally born into a Brahmin family, so he automatically got this privilege. Krishna Chandra fully respected this privilege. He made full use of this privilege. He was a wrestler by the body, a scientist by intellect, a great scholar by knowledge, and a saint by conscience. By working hard based on these qualities, Krishna Chandra got the highest education of his time at a very young age. When a young man of just 23 years passed the highest examination of Aryavarta, Krishna Chandra's name started being discussed all over Aryavarta. The fame of Krishna Chandra spread throughout the province even before he came to his village. The entire kingdom was talking about Krishna Chandra only. King Balaba Kumara was filled with pride when he found that the young man, who was being discussed all over Aryavarta, was living in his kingdom. He immediately sent a proposal through the envoy to the father of Krishna Chandra. Our king wants your son to accept the post of Acharya of our prince Keshava Kumara. The envoy narrated the message of his food provider to Beli Rama with great pleasure. The job in the king's palace, the surprised father heard this, and he became happy. There was little much pride in that happiness. As per my information, the responsibility of education in the palace is handled by the pedagogue of the king himself. In such a scenario, how can my son play the role of Acharya in the same palace? Beli Rama asked a logical as well as practical question. Let me tell you the reality, that wish is not only our king's wish, the pedagogue of the king himself wants the same for our prince. He may have felt that the era is changing rapidly, and his chronicle education may not be appropriate for the prince of the new age. The envoy explained. When the envoy clarified the situation of the palace in simple and accurate words, the father accepted this golden offer on behalf of his son, without wasting much time asking futile questions. The envoy happily went out of the house, and Beli Rama came inside the house in a dancing manner. Wow! Putara, son, you made me very happy today. Today, the fruits of a Pitaye's father's years of austerity have been received. Saying this, the proud father entered the room. The unaware mother-son looked at him in astonishment. Pitashiri, father, what happened? Krishna Chandra asked innocently. The whole Brahmin community will burn in the fire of jealousy when they will come to know that my Putara, my Kishu, has become the Acharya of the king's Putara. Saying proudly, Beli Rama laughed a lot. Shakuntala Devi was overjoyed to hear this good news. She first kissed the son's forehead with pride and then hugged him. Krishna Chandra was also pleased to get the affection of his parents. Somebody had 5 Putaras, someone had 6, so they were blind in ego. Everyone used to laugh at me. One day I politely said that of course God has given me only one Putara as a child, but time will tell that my only Putara will prove to be the best in the entire Brahmin society. Look Putara today Mata, Mother Saraswati, goddess of speech and art, has made my words true. Beli Rama hugged Krishna Chandra by saying this. Beli Rama cried a lot that night because of so much happiness. His tears were a symbol of his love, hard work, goodness, truth, righteousness and pride. Like other pundits, he never cheated anyone in the name of religion. He did not earn money by further intimidating God-fearing people. Unlike other pundits, Beli Rama had walked on the path of righteousness throughout his life. Those shreds of salt water were proof that his chosen path was not wrong at all. His path was right, that is why he is happy today. He believed that the prayers of the poor Yajmans also showed an effect. He was also thanking them all while weeping. Unlike his father, Krishna Chandra did not see anything special in the king's job. It was no big deal for him. But in a short time, when he saw special respect for himself in the eyes of the villagers, only then he understood that in a province full of great pundits, it was truly a big deal for a young man like him to be chosen as the teacher of the prince. Krishna Chandra was naturally painstaking, so he left no stone unturned in teaching Prince Keshav. Although he was a storehouse of knowledge, this was not his specialty. His specialty was his technique of teaching. When he spoke, it seemed as if the words coming out of his mouth had created a living picture in the air. The listeners could not hear, but everything seemed to be happening in front of their eyes. His efficiency was such that even the soldiers standing nearby were getting educated while listening. Hearing the praise of his Acharya from the mouth of his son Keshava, Father King Ballabha Kumara secretly inspected the class of Krishna Chandra. Realizing the miraculous experience himself, the king understood that his son was in the right hands. He once more said thanks to his pedagogue of the kingdom, who advised him to hire Krishna Chandra for the education of the prince. A teacher may be great, but only his disciples make him the greatest. As hard as Krishna Chandra was working on his only Shisha disciple, Keshava used to follow Acharya equally seriously. In the class, he did not come as a Prince Keshava Kumara. He used to come as an ordinary child Keshava. First of all, Keshava Kumara used to listen to his Acharya with complete intimacy. Then whatever questions arose in his mind related to the lesson, he used to ask them. After getting the right answer from Acharya, when his inner mind said yes, only then did he contemplate that information with full devotion. It was the reason that whenever Krishna Chandra used to test Keshava Kumara, he easily passed the exam. Everything was good. A good house, good parents, good neighbors, a good job, a good employer, a good Shisha student, and a good income. Everything was good. But the truth was that everything was good only on the outside. There was nothing good inside Krishna Chandra. He was unaware of the state of his conscience. He did not know how deep sadness was spreading in his conscience. Completely unaware of this deep inner sadness, Krishna Chandra went on with his daily routine. Similarly, 26 months passed. Then one day, the young Acharya reached the palace to take classes. As usual, he found Keshava Kumara there with a boy of his age engaged in child sports. This was Trilochana Kumara, a prince of the neighboring kingdom and a friend of Keshava. Krishna Chandra stopped there and started enjoying the children's game. As momentarily as the prince realized the presence of his Acharya, he immediately stopped the game and asked Trilochana Kumara to leave. Trilochana Kumara first bowed to Acharya and then asked permission to say something. Krishna Chandra gave his consent. Acharya, can I also take education from you with friend Keshava today? Keshava always says that his Acharya is the best. Please give me a chance to be called your Shisha for a day. My conscience is very eager to study from you. Trilochana Kumara, showing great curiosity, politely asked for permission by saying it all in one breath. The young Acharya saw the same curiosity for knowledge on the face of that new child, as he often saw on Keshava Kumara's face. That's why he didn't refuse the polite request of Trilochana Kumara. Today's topic was interesting, due to which the class became more enjoyable than before. Krishna Chandra took great pleasure in teaching both. Trilochana Kumara was happy. Keshava Kumara was most happy to see the authenticity of his statement on his friend's face. After lunch, Krishna Chandra returned home. A few moments had passed, but he was still in great joy. I have a smile on my lips, and a lot of pleasure in my mind too. What is happening with me? Why do I feel like I have found happiness after years? Krishna Chandra asked himself while changing his clothes. It's good to be happy, but why am I happy? If I am happy today, have I been sad for all these years? What has happened to me? How are all these thoughts roaming around so fast in my mind? Have I consumed any intoxicant? Thinking, Krishna Chandra started smelling his hands and clothes. Probably my condition is because of intoxication. No smell, there is no intoxicating odor. Am I losing my mental balance? But how is this even possible? My age is only 25 years, as well as being young, I am completely healthy. Krishna Chandra said, looking at his biceps. There is no trouble or calamity in my life, then how? No, my mental condition is absolutely fine. Must have eaten something unusual, but what and when? Apart from the palace, I haven't even gone anywhere today, then how? Oh no, oh God. Some enemy has mixed poison in the food of the palace. Oh God. Please, if my condition is like this, then what would be happening to those innocent children? Oh. Keshava Trilochana, why did you have lunch with me today? Shakuntala Devi noticed that her son had returned home from work. She was just about to enter the room with water for her son, when Krishna Chandra came out quickly and ran straight toward the palace. The concerned mother went after him calling out, Kishu, Kishu, but the son neither answered nor looked back. Krishna Chandra kept running. His feet stopped only after entered the palace. How is Prince Keshava now, and Trilochana? As momentarily as he asked this, the gatekeeper was shocked. What happened, Acharya? Why are you looking so scared? The gatekeeper asked him back. All that later, first tell me that Keshava is fine now? Please tell me that he is okay? I think he is fine. The gatekeeper replied, thinking. You think? What do you mean? What kind of protector you are, if you are unaware of the health status of your prince? Krishna Chandra asked angrily. The prince's health. The gatekeeper could not say anything further, because Krishna Chandra immediately went inside. Confused and scared, the gatekeeper followed him. Prince Keshava Kumara was playing with his friend Trilochana Kumara in his royal garden. Seeing that, the young Acharya was astonished. One of the soldiers went quickly and informed Prince Keshava Kumara about the arrival of Krishna Chandra. Keshava Kumara was surprised to see his Acharya. He quickly came to his Acharya. Good afternoon, Acharya. I was not expecting you. Is everything okay? Keshava Kumara hesitatingly asked. You tell me, Keshava, are you okay? Krishna Chandra asked Keshava Kumara back. Of course, Acharya, what will happen to me? I am completely fine. Keshava Kumara replied in confidence. Krishna Chandra saw both princes. They were actually looking fit and fine. The confident reply of the prince gave more happiness to the gatekeeper than the Acharya. He returned to his place with a sigh of relief. When Krishna Chandra found that Keshava Kumara and Trilochana Kumara were healthy, only then he also felt some relief. It also meant that there was nothing wrong with the food as poisonous or intoxicating. Then what happened to him? Thinking so, he returned home. He still could not understand anything. He sat in his room holding his head in a very bad mental state. Shakuntala Devi did not dare to go near him. He was frightened by the behavior of her young, as well as the well-cultured son. She was eagerly waiting for her husband. On the other hand, the father went to the house as momentarily as he got the unpleasant message. The moment he entered the house, her wife started crying. I have called Kishu many times. I ran after him till the end of the street. But he did not answer me. It seemed like he could not hear anything. His full body was wet with sweat. He was very scared. He looked helpless when he was running. He has been in his room ever since he came back. Crying, Shakuntala Devi said, as she gave detailed information about her son. Be patient. Saying Belly Rama came inside. Seeing the father, the young Acharya started weeping out of emotion and told everything while crying. My Putara got an evil eye from the envious people. Saying, Belly Rama brought him to the worship room. He started chanting the mantras to prepare the inviting water. Krishna Chandra drank that inviting water. After that, Belly Rama started a holy ritual. He got the benefit, either by the effect of the holy ritual or by the effect of inviting water. Maybe both helped him. After a while, all the thoughts in Krishna Chandra's mind slowed down and also disappeared. After that, he fell asleep. Krishna Chandra was sleeping, but his parents sat beside him all night while chanting mantras. All the arrangements for a big holy ritual known as Sampurna Suraksha Yagya were made even before Krishna Chandra woke up in the morning. Among big pundits, Krishna Chandra sat near Hawan Kund, a man-made hole for religious activity. Pundits were chanting mantras. Whenever they finished a mantra, they said Swaha. Swaha is the universal instruction for dedication oblation in Hawan Kund. With each Swaha, Krishna Chandra oblation the mixture of holy things in Hawan Kund. With each oblation in the Hawan Kund, he became calmer and calmer. It seemed like his soul was being purified with every oblation. When the yagya was completed, he became completely calm and healthy. Everyone ate special food prepared for that yagya. After that, the wise pundits gathered to discuss the root cause of the bad physical and mental condition of the young man. They unanimously concluded, after a long deliberation, that there was a shadow of a phantom on Krishna Chandra. The phantom intended to enter the body and capture it. Being a Brahmin, Krishna Chandra kept protecting himself indirectly. Before his inner strength weakened, he got the support of the inviting water at the right time. The inviting water gave extra strength to his soul. The phantom was insolent and kept hovering around him the whole night, waiting for the weak moment. With the help of the powerful mantras, the parents gave Krishna Chandra essential protection all night. Phantom waited for the whole night to fulfill its evil intention. According to nature's principle, after failing, Phantom had to go beyond the threshold of the house because the Brahma Muhurta, the Indian holy period that is from 3:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m., started. Even beyond the threshold, it was waiting till the completion of yagya. The success of the yagya dashed the phantom's plans, as the yagya created invisible safety armor over Krishna Chandra, as well as over the house, which the phantom could never penetrate. In that way, the phantom was sent back away forever. Converting Belly Rama's suspicion into belief, it was also told that such a stubborn phantom does not come itself but is purposely sent by someone. It was clear that the phantom did not come here wandering, but was sent in a planned manner. Krishna Chandra heard and understood everything. Although Krishna Chandra was completely healthy still, his father advised him to take leave for 2 days, which he accepted as an order. After vacations, he was declared healthy on all parameters. Unwanted thoughts were no longer tormenting him. He was as happy as a normal man should be, and his mind was totally in his control. Was he happy indeed?